Nearly half of all female homicide victims in the U.S. are killed by a current or former intimate partner. This is a staggering and heartbreaking reality, one that often goes unnoticed behind closed doors and within the walls of homes that should be safe havens. The statistics are not just numbers, they represent lives lost, families shattered, and communities left searching for answers, not by strangers but by someone who once claimed to love them. The very people who promised protection and care can, in the darkest moments, become the source of unimaginable pain. The betrayal cuts deeper because it comes from within the circle of trust. The emotion we celebrate, love, can, in rare but tragic cases, become the catalyst for the ultimate act of violence. What begins as passion and devotion can twist into something unrecognizable, fueled by jealousy, insecurity, and a desperate need for control. This isn't about love gone wrong, it's about obsession masquerading as love. It's about a dangerous fixation that wears the mask of affection, but underneath, it's driven by fear of loss and a refusal to let go. Obsession doesn't nurture, it consumes, seeking to own rather than share. It suffocates, demanding constant reassurance and control, leaving no room for independence or mutual respect. When that sense of ownership is threatened, the consequences can be devastating. The fear of abandonment or rejection can push someone to the brink, turning love into a weapon. The line between affection and fixation is thinner than we think. What appears as caring can quickly become controlling, and the shift is often so gradual that it's hard to notice until it's too late. It often starts subtly: constant check-ins, isolation from friends, the slow erosion of freedom. These behaviors may seem harmless at first, even flattering, but they are warning signs of a deeper problem. These are the early tremors before disaster. The anxiety, the fear, the sense that something isn't right, these feelings are the body's way of signaling danger even when the mind tries to rationalize them away. Recognizing these patterns isn't just academic, it's a matter of survival. Education and awareness can empower individuals to break the cycle before it escalates, offering hope and a path to safety. Seeing the signs early is the first step to preventing tragedy. Reaching out for help, confiding in someone trusted, or contacting support services can make all the difference. We must learn to spot the darkness even when it's disguised as devotion. It's not always easy, but awareness is our strongest defense against hidden dangers. Because sometimes the most dangerous place is the one you thought was safe. By shining a light on these hidden truths, we can help protect those at risk and ensure that love never becomes a reason for fear. Obsession in relationships isn't intense love. It's a consuming preoccupation that overshadows everything else. What starts as affection can slowly morph into something far more suffocating, where thoughts of the other person dominate every waking moment. The line between caring and controlling blurs, and the relationship becomes a source of anxiety rather than comfort. The partner becomes a possession, not an equal. Instead of mutual respect, there's a constant need to monitor, to hold on tighter, as if love could be measured by control. The obsessive partner may believe they're acting out of love, but their actions are rooted in fear. Fear of abandonment, fear of losing control, fear of being alone. Any threat to the relationship feels like an existential crisis. Even the smallest disagreement or moment of distance can trigger overwhelming panic, leading to arguments and emotional outbursts that leave both partners feeling drained and misunderstood. A missed call becomes betrayal. A chat with a friend, evidence of infidelity. Trust erodes, replaced by suspicion and jealousy. The obsessive partner scrutinizes every interaction, convinced that danger lurks in every message or unanswered call. The obsessor's anxiety boils over into control and aggression. Arguments escalate quickly, and the need to dominate the relationship becomes overwhelming. The partner on the receiving end often feels trapped, walking on eggshells to avoid triggering another outburst. Healthy relationships allow for individuality. Obsession cannot tolerate it. The obsessive partner struggles to accept that their loved one has a life outside the relationship, and any sign of independence is seen as a threat. Demands for passwords, monitoring, and isolation follow. This isn't protection, it's imprisonment. The partner's world shrinks, their freedom eroded by constant surveillance and suspicion. Obsession is rooted in deep personal issues, not true love. It often stems from insecurity, past trauma, or a desperate need for validation, wounds that love alone cannot heal. The obsessive partner projects their fears and needs, forcing their partner into an impossible mold. The relationship becomes a battleground, with one person trying to shape the other into their ideal, regardless of the cost. When reality doesn't match their fantasy, things can turn dangerous. The obsessive partner's frustration can erupt into destructive behavior, leaving emotional or even physical scars. "If I can't have you, no one can," becomes a chilling threat, a warning that obsession, left unchecked, can destroy the very love it claims to protect. The Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander case is a haunting example of obsession turned deadly. It's a story that shocked the nation, not just for its brutality, but for the chilling descent from romance to tragedy. What began as a seemingly ordinary love story soon spiraled into a nightmare that no one could have predicted. Their romance began passionately, filled with excitement and hope for the future. But beneath the surface, cracks began to show. Jodi's behavior quickly became possessive and controlling, as she struggled with jealousy and insecurity. Arguments became more frequent, and trust started to erode, casting a shadow over what once seemed like a perfect match. Even after Travis ended things, Jodi refused to let go, moving closer, inserting herself into his life in increasingly unsettling ways. She would show up unannounced, monitor his activities, and make it clear that she was never far away. Her inability to accept the breakup became a source of constant tension and fear for Travis. For the obsessed, rejection isn't an end but a challenge. Jodi's fixation only intensified, and she began to see every boundary as something to be crossed, every no as an invitation to try harder. The pain of rejection fueled her determination, blurring the line between love and possession. Travis tried to move on, seeking comfort in friends and new beginnings, but Jodi's fixation escalated. He confided in those close to him about his growing unease, and even considered moving to escape her relentless presence. Yet, no matter what he did, Jodi always seemed to be lurking in the background, unwilling to let go. The tragic result: Travis was brutally murdered, with evidence pointing directly to Jodi. The crime scene was a grim testament to the violence that can erupt when obsession overtakes reason. The community was left reeling, struggling to comprehend how love could turn so deadly. The trial revealed a narrative of jealousy, manipulation, and an obsessive refusal to let go. Testimonies painted a picture of a relationship marked by emotional highs and devastating lows, with Jodi's actions growing more erratic and dangerous as time went on. Her defense claimed self-defense, but the jury saw calculated vengeance. The courtroom became a battleground of conflicting stories, but the evidence was overwhelming. In the end, the truth could not be hidden. This case is a stark warning: when love becomes possession, tragedy can follow. The heartbreak extended far beyond the two people at its center, leaving families and friends forever changed. Obsession can write its final chapter in blood, leaving scars that never truly heal, and a story that will be remembered for generations. Obsession can thrive online, as seen in the case of Shanna Golyar. After Dave Krupa ended things, Shanna's obsession led her to impersonate his new girlfriend Carrie Farver online. Carrie vanished, but her digital presence, crafted by Shanna, tormented Dave and Carrie's family for years. Shanna played both victim and villain, sending thousands of messages to manipulate and isolate Dave. Investigators eventually traced the digital evidence back to Shanna. She had murdered Carrie and used technology to cover her tracks and maintain control. In 2017, Shanna was convicted of first-degree murder. This case shows how obsession armed with technology can create a lethal illusion. The digital world can be just as dangerous as the physical one. Spotting obsessive love isn't paranoia, it's protection. Early red flags include extreme jealousy and relentless questioning about your interactions. Obsessive partners may try to isolate you from friends and family, making you dependent on them. Control can extend to your appearance, career, and hobbies. They can't handle rejection or criticism. Any no is seen as betrayal. Emotional volatility, begging, threats, or anger often follows. A pattern of unstable, intense relationships is another warning sign. They cast themselves as perpetual victims, blaming all exes. These behaviors reveal a dangerous mindset: relationships as possession, not partnership. Recognizing these signs early can save lives. Don't ignore the red flags. Your safety depends on it. Jealousy is often mistaken for love, but in obsessive relationships, it's about fear and control. Pathological jealousy creates a toxic environment where partners walk on eggshells. It escalates from verbal suspicion to monitoring texts, tracking movements, and demanding access. Each violation of privacy is justified as protection, but it's really about control. The obsessive partner isolates you, severing ties with friends and family. Every concession you make emboldens their demands. When you try to leave, their fear of abandonment peaks. This is the most dangerous time. Stalking, threats, and even violence can follow. The vice of control tightens until something breaks. Jealousy's slippery slope can end in tragedy. Recognize the pattern before it's too late. Your freedom is not negotiable. Stalking isn't romance, it's a crime and a warning sign of future violence. It often starts after a breakup, with the obsessed refusing to let go. Stalking tactics range from constant messages to showing up uninvited, and even cyberstalking. The goal to instill fear and maintain control. Victims suffer anxiety, isolation, and a loss of safety. Stalking is a relentless campaign of terror. Studies show many female homicide victims were stalked by their partners first. Stalking is the obsessor's last attempt at control and can escalate to violence. Take every incident seriously, document, report, and make a safety plan. Stalking is the ultimate red flag, don't ignore it. Escaping an obsessive relationship takes courage, planning, and support. The first step is acknowledging the danger. Stop making excuses for their behavior. Trust your instincts. Fear is a warning. Create a safety plan. Set aside money, copy documents, and identify a safe place. Tell someone you trust and seek professional help. The period after leaving is the most dangerous. Plan carefully. Domestic violence hotlines and shelters offer vital resources and support. Prevention starts with education. Teach what healthy relationships look like. Challenge the romanticization of jealousy and control. Open conversations empower people to recognize and act on warning signs. A well-informed community can save lives. The stories we've explored reveal how obsession blurs the line between love and possession. Obsession, fueled by jealousy and control, can lead directly to violence. Understanding these patterns is self-defense. Knowledge helps us distinguish healthy affection from dangerous fixation. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Maintain your support network and protect your autonomy. Friends and family, speak up and offer support if you see warning signs. Safety is non-negotiable. By staying informed and vigilant, we can protect ourselves and others. Knowledge is our most powerful shield. Stay safe.